Today I'm with Big Red. Big Red, how old are you?
I am 54.
Big Red, how long have you been lost in Phoenix?
For about 11 years now.
So 11 years ago, what happened in your life to cause you to come out here?
Well, I moved out here from Los Angeles, and I was in a domestic violent relationship, and we were using, and ever since then, I've got clean a couple of times, but I keep coming back here. I can't seem to really let go of the street.
Is it also like addiction? It's so powerful it brings you back?
It is. It's not only addiction to the drugs, it's addiction to the lifestyle. The streets give me a thrill that I haven't really been able to get clean. You know, I have worked, I went to college, I've done all these things, but there's a certain thrill I get from here.
Can you describe that? Like, thrill of getting caught, the thrill of the chase with you and the cops?
It's more like the thrill of, am I going to get caught? You know, I smoke out here. You know, I get high out here. I like getting high in the street. You know, I do things to make money to get the drugs, and there's a certain, how can I say, euphoria that I get from it. Something I can't lose. Have you ever been skiing and that feeling when you're going down the hill really, really quick? It's kind of like that feeling, that rush.
Yeah, no skiing in Phoenix, right? So I'm never around
Well,
snow.
I've always been from Phoenix.
Got it. You do dates?
Yes.
I saw you approach a white van, a blue collar worker, look like an electrician. Is that how generally it happens? Somebody parks, you approach them, or they kind of...
Yes, pretty much. I walk down the street and see if I can get people to look at me, and then I'll kind of give them a look to see if they're going to be like compatible, and then I watch to see if they turn a corner, and if they turn a corner, usually they pull over and park, and I'll approach the car and, you know, negotiate from there.
So this gentleman in the white van, you guys were there for about 3 minutes. Was that negotiating, going back and forth, or?
It wasn't so much negotiating. He was willing to pay my price. He didn't have any room in the van, and he didn't have nowhere to go, so he was wanting to get my phone number.
For a future date?
Yes.
For where he could get like a room or something?
Yes. Or go to his place.
When his wife is not there?
Probably.
Right. How many dates do you do per day?
Let's see. If I'm going to be realistic, probably about 10. Because when I get high all day, all night.
So what's your price for those 10 guys?
Well, no, it's not a price for 10 guys. It's a price per person and what they want. And usually what it is 40 for a book and 60 for everything.
Okay. So let's say 60 times 10. With that
600.
With that money, you're gonna have a room. You're gonna rent a room. You're gonna get your stuff. You're gonna eat, get off the streets, and kind of rest for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then again, when that runs out, boom, gotta go out there again.
You go.
It's a cycle, huh?
Yes. It's a vicious cycle, and sometimes I don't even get the room. Sometimes I just get stuck smoking. You know, I don't always do 10 dates a day. You know, sometimes I really don't want a date, and I'll just hang out on the street and maybe do a couple just to keep my addiction going. You know, and then there's times where I want a room and I want to change of clothes, and that's when I'll start going out here and doing more.
Is today a 10 guy day, or?
No, actually, I went to detox for a little bit. I needed to take a break. I'm not ready for treatment, so I came back out here. But sometimes when I need to take a break, I'll go detox. You know, because I have nowhere else to go, really. I don't have any family out here. I do have medical insurance. That's the one good thing. So I'll go to like detox or something, or CBI, you know what I mean, and rest for a couple of days so I can get myself together again.
Do you have kids?
No.
No kids?
I never had any kids. I was married once, But my husband left me last year.
How long were you married for?
20 years.
He just left you, huh?
Yeah, it was 20 years on and off. But yeah, he just left me. I was kind of surprised. That's when I was working and going to college and doing really good. Had a car, had a place. And him just leaving me kind of put me in a very deep depression. Yeah. And I've been lost out here ever since.
How much longer do you think you'll be out here in the streets?
Well, it's summertime.
Say it again?
It's summertime. And summertime and this stuff is really hard, so probably not too much longer.
Just for the season or forever?
Oh, I'm not going to be out here forever. I'm not that type of girl. Everybody knows me to be out here for a little bit, and then I'll be gone for months. Then I'll come back. Then I'll be gone for months. You know, I'm not the be out here all the time kind of girl. You know what I mean? When I get tired, I leave. I leave for a while. And I'll get a job and things like that. And then I get that call again.
The little itch to come out here?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then unfortunately, I go really hard and I will lose everything. You know, and be back on the street again.
You have to start from
that
zero.
That addiction is really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first started substances?
I was 17.
At 17, who introduced you to that stuff back then?
Who introduced me to it? People on the street. I ran away when I was 16 years old, and I started dating. I wasn't doing drugs then, but then I was in a room full of people, and they looked like they were having so much fun, and they were just doing crack. So I was like, somebody offered it to me. I was like, okay, I'll try it, because it looked like they were having a really good time, and that's when I did it.
You regret it?
Oh, yeah. Of course I do. But at the same time, I also think this was part of my path. I was very suicidal, and I used to cut myself all the time. And I kind of think drugs kind of saved me from that, because when I started doing drugs, and I stopped doing that. So.
Sounds like your childhood, there's dysfunction at home. Something caused you to run away, right?
My childhood was very hard.
Your what?
I said my childhood was very hard.
Your childhood was very hard.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was bullied in school constantly. My mom was hitting me, and my father was sexually, and she knew, and she always sat there and said that I wanted it. It was my fault, and you know she would beat me really bad.
From what age did that start?
He started molesting me like when I was around 9.
When did it stop?
When I told my best friend, and they called it a CPS, so like around 14. But my mother was still very, very abusive. And he kept trying, and I just got tired of it.
You ran away?
Yeah, I didn't want to be there anymore, so I hitchhiked. Me and my best friend hitchhiked down to California. It was actually a very big adventure. We loved it.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Got it.
Originally, and we hitchhiked all the way to California. It was pretty cool. She eventually went home and left me out there.
You stayed?
Yeah. So I've been in and out of adventures.
Yeah.
Since then.
Wow. What should a little girl, she's 15 years old, she's 10, 11, 12, stuff like that is going on at home, somebody's abusing her. What should she do? What needs to happen?
That's the hard part, because we went to the police, and the police put me back in the house where I was abused, and he went to court and got probation. You know, unfortunately, the justice system really doesn't work for kids the way they need to. You know what I mean? If anything, I'd tell her, definitely go to the police, definitely report it, and definitely press charges. Don't let the parents or daddy convince you to drop the charges, because that's what they'll do. You know?
Do you have a relationship with your mom and dad?
I have a relationship with my mom. My father has passed away.
So, Big Red, I'm really sorry that happened to you. It seems like that might be the point where everything originated from. Trauma, right? Created mental health issues. You're hurting yourself, right? And then you found a new passion for substances, so you stopped cutting yourself. But now you're still hurting yourself with this stuff, right?
Yes.
So it's like you're blaming yourself for what happened, where that wasn't really your fault. It wasn't your fault at all.
Thank you.
Right? You're innocent. But here you are, you're still the same little girl hurting yourself because nobody was there to avoid. The people that should have protected you are the ones that hurt you the most. I'm sorry about that. Okay? But thank you for having the courage to share your story, because by you sharing your story, a little girl is going to watch this and it's going to take your advice. Okay? So you're going to save somebody's life, because you don't want other little girls go down this path because of the trauma they're experiencing at home, and it's happening right now in Phoenix, in Baltimore, Los Angeles, every city across the United States. There's abuse happening right now, unfortunately, sadly, right?
Yes.
And so those culprits, those people should be held accountable.
Yes.
There should be a voice for children, because 40 some years later, you're still not being heard until now. This right here is the platform for you to say, I matter too, okay? And you really do, Big Red.
Thank you.
So again, thank you very much. I appreciate you. God bless. I really hope that everything turns out better for you. I'm going to give you my email, my contact information if you ever need to write a treatment, somebody to talk to, so we can stay in contact, okay?
Okay.
Stay safe, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right.
Bye.
Bye.